5 signs you have self-respect. I'm so excited for this video because so many of you come from narcissistic backgrounds, have narcissistic parents, right? Emotionally unavailable parents. And what it oftentimes leads to is lack of self-respect, right? Like being taken advantage of, right? Your boundaries are being crossed multiple times, right? You're not being valued. So I'm going to teach you the 5 signs you have self-respect. Hey, I'm Antia, founder and creator of the Magnetize Your Man method. And look, this is the channel where we magnetize your man so that the man you want, desires, and pursues you forever, right? Sustainably. Now, of course, like, share, and subscribe for more juicy videos coming your way that will help you to attract a deep connected long-term relationship with a high quality man who is emotionally available on all levels. And ladies, really listen until the very end, until the video, because I do have a special bonus that you don't want to miss. So let's go ahead and dive right into the 5 signs that you have self-respect. Number 5 is you honor all your archetypes. Okay, so first of all, what does that mean? Archetypes are different energies inside of us. So every woman and every man has at least 6 main archetypes. So there's the queen, there's the inner girl, there's a wild woman, there's a lover, and so on, right? There's the warrioress, the priestess, and so on. So what oftentimes happens is that when we don't respect ourselves, we just value what, let's say, the little girl is saying, right? Or we just value what the lover is saying. But we're not really valuing what the other archetypes are saying. You know, for example, the priestess is very much focusing on your relationship with God, right? So, do you pay attention to that? Are you investing enough time, or are you throwing off that out of the window the minute a man comes along, right? A queen will tell you, okay, girlfriend, slow down, right? We don't have to rush into the relationship. We don't have to visualize ourselves already at the end of the finish line with this guy, but rather let's take it one date at a time, because you are the queen as well. So when you respect yourself, women who do respect themselves, they honor all of their 6 archetypes. Number 4 is be willing to walk away. Now, another thing that you're very good at when you have self-respect is you're okay with the unknown, right? The reason why you may not walk away from a situation, from a dysfunctional relationship, right? Maybe from an abusive relationship, maybe from an emotionally unavailable man, someone who dangles the carrot in front of your nose, makes you always promises that he never keeps, is because you don't want to be in the unknown. Because in the unknown, you will have to face the question, what if? What if I had stayed, What if I had given him another chance? What if he turned around, right? So women who have self-respect, they let go of that what if scenario. And instead of also looking at, what if I meet someone even better, right? What if I even cherish myself even more? What if my life even improves more by walking away? So they are actually also seeing the positive of the what if scenario, right? So not just the negative, the downfall, the downside, but also what's the great thing that can happen. Another thing that women who respect themselves are very good at is at managing their shame authentically. So now imagine this, right? So you're saying something, you're doing something, and somebody says something and you feel embarrassed, right? Your shame is coming up, right? So maybe you got rejected. And so what can oftentimes happen, that we fall into the trap to use 3 of the shame shields, right? So either we attack the other person, well, who do you think you are, right? So for example, I met this guy 12 years ago, and he told me, you're a little too needy, you're a little too clingy, and you're kissing too much, you're too affectionate, blah, blah, blah. So when you don't have self-respect, right, you go into immediate attack. You go into immediate self-defense. You go into immediate or denial, right? Oh, just kidding. No, you're right. I don't have that many needs, right? No, it's fine. Yeah, totally fine. However, when you have self-respect, you manage the shame authentically. And how you do that is by allowing the impact to land, that you feel uncomfortable, you open up into it because you have intrinsic confidence, right? When you have self-respect, you have this intrinsic confidence because you have self-trust, right? And then you'll be able to be present with the situation, and you will be able to advocate for your needs. You will be actually able to say, yes, I have needs. Yes, thank you for noticing. So you actually stay very present and very congruent because you respect yourself, right? What you think, what you say, and what you do is in alignment. Number 2 is you are in your Queen-tegrity. Now, what does integrity actually mean, right? So integrity means you're sticking to your priorities. You're sticking to your values. So for example, if your value is, like, let's say, to work on your career, or let's say to work on yourself, personal development, maybe you're taking a workshop right now, right? Or maybe you are in a program right now and you have some assignments to do, whatever it is, right? And ring, 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 here calls the guy, right? And instead of like saying, oh yeah, no, I'm totally gonna cancel, my assignment, or I'm not gonna show up to that workshop, or I'm just gonna leave early, I'm gonna attend late, or the queen is actually saying, I already have plans. Now, I mentioned in one of my last videos the book Why Men Love Bitches, right? And so, like, in that particular story, there is this woman, and she actually, like, says to the guy, who, by the way, invites her on a Caribbean cruise, all expenses paid, right, to be with him. And she's like, no, I can't do that because, my value is in, I'm hosting a Tupperware party. And he's like, excuse me, right? But that's what I mean, right? She respects herself. And what ends up happening is this man gets off the cruise early to take a flight home to attend her Tupperware party, because he can't really believe like it's really just a Tupperware party, right? He's like probably thinking like it's another guy or whatever. And so that's really true. So no matter how big or how small it is what you value, you're actually prioritizing that over the man, right? So that's really what happens when you respect yourself and you really mean it. And lastly, number 1 is you value yourself, right? You treat yourself like your own best friend. Now, this reminds me of, I really love to watch the show Below Deck. I don't know if you've ever watched it. If not, highly recommend. I think it's on Netflix. And that's Below Deck Mediterranean, all the things, right? So I'm watching Below Deck Mediterranean right now. And there is the chief stewardess named Hannah. And so Hannah doesn't really value herself. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, when the chef cook says to her, like, she's like, are you interested in me and whatever, right? And he's like, I'm not quite sure yet, right? And so she doesn't treat herself like her own best friend, right? But instead she becomes a doormat. And she kind of like becomes this begging puppy towards him, which then of course pushes him even further away, right? But what really happens when you respect yourself is you treat yourself like a queen. There's many fish in the sea. Also, you invest in like a nice massage, or you invest into a coach, right? Into a mentor, like to work on yourself, right? You invest into a beautiful bouquet of flowers. I have some girlfriends who send themselves regularly bouquets of flowers, right? But they treat themselves the way they want to be treated, right? They cook themselves the yummy meal instead of like whipping out the cookbook like only when your guy comes over. Now, before we hop to the bonus section, I'd love to hear from you. Which of those are you good at? Which of those have you practiced of self-respect? Which is like, like I'm still gonna work on that a little bit, work in progress, right? And comment below. Let's have a conversation about it, because this is where the rubber hits the road. And this is why some women are being treated like queens and some other women are being taken advantage and being treated like doormats. Now, if you stayed until very end, thank you for that. Here is your bonus. You respect others, okay? And so again, what that means is you don't tell them white lies. You actually show up when you say you do, and you also apologize when you're in the wrong, right? Because here's the thing. We all have moments where we're weak. Like, it has nothing to do that you don't respect yourself and now you're perfect, or that you're not confident when you make a mistake. We all make mistakes, right? If you live outside of your comfort zone, or if you're human, meaning you can't be present like 24/7, it's just like not possible, you will make mistakes. So can you respect others and admit when you're in the wrong, right? Do you have enough humility for that, right? Or do you constantly need to be in the right? Really great example here. Again, I'm going to bring another example from Below Deck. I know I'm like the spokesperson of Below Deck, I feel. But it's really great. So his name is Danny, and he's a deckhand. And what's really interesting is he is so insecure that he can't respect others, right? He can't respect the captain. He can't follow orders, right? He's constantly rebelling, and really disrespecting others, like really lying, making up stories. And ultimately he gets booted. Sorry, spoiler alert if you want to watch it. But that's what happens, right? Because he didn't respect himself, so he ended up not respecting others, which of course didn't really help him. Now, if you want to discover a powerful psychological trigger on how to make any man desire you, then hop on over to triggerhisdesire.com, or simply pop into the comment section, and there's the link in the description as well. And if you haven't done so already, watch next. When a man deeply loves you, he will start saying these 5 things. Lots of love to you, ladies, and I will talk to you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.